Hello and welcome to the Pub Footy Podcast. Today is a special Champions League post-reaction episode. Tough break for the Arsenal today in Paris. We'll get to it. Got the boys here, Coach Martinez, Carlos Castro, who Carlos is wearing the finalist Inter Milan, who defeated Barcelona in one of the more historic Champions League semifinal ties that we've ever seen. And then just a bit ago, Arsenal was defeated by PSG in Paris to get knocked out. PSG moved through. It'll be PSG and Inter in the Champions League final in Munich. John, how are you feeling?
It's tough. I mean,
It's the angriest you've looked
dude, it's
starting a
just.
pod.
I mean, listen, it's devastating. I mean, I'm a true fan, and losing sucks, especially losing in a manner where you create chances. Like, you're pretty good, right? You're good over two legs. You're not like awful. You're not bad either. You're actually competing, and you create chances, enough chances where you can be like, oh, you can win the tie, or you can at least push it to overtime, and you just can't fucking convert. So it's like frustrating. But I mean, I think more devastating because of the result at the end of the day. But
Yeah, let's deep dive to what went on today. I mean, I think we were all very surprised how Arsenal took the game to PSG in the first, 15, 20.
15.
We thought that PSG was going to be the
Sorry to
one.
interrupt, though. Sorry to interrupt. Continue. I'll be back in like 2 seconds. Keep chatting, though.
We all thought that PSG would be the team to put their foot on the gas, and Arsenal would have to withhold their attacking stance a bit. But it
Yeah.
was Arsenal actually who was on the front foot. Gigi Donnarumma makes a couple of ridiculous saves, one especially on Martin Odegaard, which, if you start the game off 1-0, the tie is tied, and then it really is game on from there. So
This
what'd
guy
you
has
get,
the
Carlos?
most jerseys, but he's worn more teams' jerseys than his actual own team's jerseys. Every single
Hey.
pod session, it's never the Chelsea jersey.
Yeah,
It's always everyone else's fucking jersey.
just keep the Inter Milan one for the next segment, and then you
Yeah,
just
I'm
throw that
gonna
one
switch. I'm
over.
gonna switch back. Yeah.
That's
No,
fine.
but like you said, Diego, I think it was the first 15, right? I think before that Martin Odegaard chance, you have Arsenal create two other chances aside from that. But something in these semifinal ties where the goalkeepers are just incredible, because you saw yesterday with Jan Sommer, you see today with Donnarumma, just ownership of his box, making big time saves, keeping his team in the game. Arsenal went out with a game plan. They clogged up the middle of the park. It worked.
High press worked as well. Yeah.
Right, the high press worked. They couldn't get out the back. They were kind of like deer in headlights. They looked like us in the first leg.
Yeah.
in London.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. So the difference in the game is PSG first 15 minutes of the game in Emirates scored the goal when they were
Converted.
pressing. This game, same thing. I mean, Arsenal was dominating the first 15 minutes, but no goal, and that's really the difference between the two games.
Yeah.
You three chances in the first 15 is enough to get you in the game. It's enough to put you ahead in the game, right? So it's tough. That's what I'm saying. It's just difficult, right? The game plan worked for 15, 20 minutes, and then the game started to open up a bit. And then it got interesting, Kvara hitting one off the post.
Yeah. Yeah, great chance.
And then they get that the Ruiz goal, and that goal was, what more do you want? He hits it as best he can, and he puts it top bin, side of the net.
Yeah,
it's
tough game though, right? Like, I mean, Arsenal had the chances. PSG were just more clinical, I guess, right? Arsenal could have had 3, 4, 5 goals between the two games, and it just comes down to who's more clinical in front of net.
Yeah, that probably goes back to kind of like the story of our season.
The season, yeah.
It's just kind of like how our season kind of panned out, right? No strikers, no one to put the ball in the back of the net. We got to rely on. He misses one, but he scores another. We got to rely on Saka. I mean, guy getting
I didn't think he was
everyone on
too
the
good
field.
today, though.
I mean, it's not good because it's so difficult. Nuno Mendes is defending him. Kvara is playing as. Bro, he played as a left back. Nuno Mendes was never the
he
first
had
guy to press.
It was always 2v1. Yeah.
It's always 2v1, and then Pacho would slide in. It was 3v1, and you have either Vitinha or João Neves. They
Yeah.
had they have at least 3 to 4 guys around the ball every time they touch it. I mean, it is what it is. Maybe he should be better at moments, but it's still difficult, right? And we're still relying on him to kind of just get it done for us, or trying to find something. So, not blaming. It's tough that he missed that second one, because it is a.
Man, that would have.
Do I think he's expecting it? I don't think. I think he sees Dota come out, and he's just like, oh shit,
He thought
got
he
it.
was going to touch that.
And Declan hits that ball so hard. You see the skip when it hits him, but I mean, regardless, I think you still finish that, and you just make the tie a lot more interesting, right? It's 2-2.
Of course.
Then came on.
Shit, and there's like 15 minutes. I think there's probably like 10 minutes left. And you're just like, geez. But I'm not gonna be like, you're Piece of shit, Saka.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like Carlos said, right, PSG dominated it at the Emirates the first 15-20. Arsenal dominated the first 15-20 in Paris, but the Fabian Ruiz backbreaking goal, right? Just off the chest, volley, one-time hit,
But a
no
touch off
shot
the
for
chest.
yeah, no shot for Raya to save that. And then PSG start to find their footing again in the game. Arsenal have to, now after having such a strong start, now they have to withstand the first real dominating possession of PSG. But then still, I think Arsenal still had their moments. Obviously, the second goal for PSG was even more backbreaking. I think pretty lazy on Partey's side to not get that ball. Hakimi anticipates that, gets the ball back from Dembele, curls it 2-0. That's when you really thought the game and the tie was over.
Yeah, like people are gonna. I hate like the super radical fans who are like, yeah,
Who's
Partey.
that? Like AFT? AFT?
Listen, yeah, I think in general, I think like seeing Twitter and stuff like say, yeah, Partey. I mean, he made a difference just being there this game, right?
Would you say Arsenal was better today than they were last week?
I think so.
Just overall?
Yeah, I think so as well.
I think overall, I mean, it kind of looked identical though, a little bit, right? Where it's like once they got comfortable and organized, they got a bit more play. Declan was able to like advance. Different guys get forward and kind of be more dangerous. So I thought it was kind of the same, but I think we had more moments today where I thought other guys pitched in. So like I thought Odegaard was better than he has been,
Yeah.
right? Aside from
Still
not
shoulda
shooting enough,
I
but
was
I
just
thought he
about to
was
say he
good.
still needs to shoot
He needs
more.
to
Some
shoot more.
slack in confidence.
He shoots one, hits it well. It's a great save.
Yeah.
Gotta keep hitting the ball.
Just shoot. Maybe it's a deflection, maybe it's a
There was the
rebound,
one
maybe
that
it's something.
I texted Johnny about, or Johnny texted me about, when he just took maybe like 25 yards wide
Yes.
open on his left
Yes.
foot,
And then he
and then I
passed
think
it.
he passed it
Right, he
out.
does so
Yeah.
well to turn out of pressure and drive into space, creates the space to hit it, and then just wants to pass it along, like passive responsibility. And like in these moments, we don't need guys to pass the responsibility. We need guys to take responsibility and kind of take us to that point where we need them to take us. So it gets difficult, and I'm just like, but he played better than he did the first game. So like those guys, right? I thought Skelly was awful today for me.
Yeah, he was on good.
Wasn't good enough, right? Like I said, they had
Turned it
him
over way too much.
tactically sorted. Luis Enrique said
Yeah.
he's gonna get the ball in the middle of the pitch. He wants to turn and drive into space. Just negate that. And Joao Neves was on him like white on rice every single time and was picking him off. So he wasn't at that point. I think maybe it's experience, maturity. He's got to just adapt. Kind of just switch his game, play more simple. Just get it,
Yeah.
give it, spray the ball instead of trying to turn it because he tried to do it every time and he got picked every time. So I saw that sub coming from a mile away. I saw Ricky was gonna come in. I thought he was gonna give us a little bit more, but it's tough, right? When you're down to 0 already, to kind of make that influence, that impact. I thought Trossard was good off the bench.
I was gonna say he's one of those guys where we always want him to play more. Do you think he came on a little too late today?
No, I thought he came at was it 65? I think.
I think
Somewhere around there.
68th. I think
Like
is
60, yeah, like,
exactly
I
when he
think that's
came
the
out.
perfect time for him to come make an impact. They don't get that second goal, then maybe, right? But he was still trying to. He got the assist. He was still trying to get guys going. He was very like proactive, aggressive, like trying to be quick on the ball, take 1v1s. But that when you're down that much, it's tough, man. So at that point, you're just kind of like, do we get a little bit of luck on our side? Some
Yeah, I mean,
UCL magic.
I think with you guys being down, I guess 2 at that point, Trossard probably should have came. I mean, by like 5-10 minutes, like not like he should have started the second half, but I think you just needed more like
But they
offensive
all came
power,
on at the PK.
which is, yeah, the 68th minute. Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense he came on,
Yeah,
but
it was because nobody expects to get that PK, right?
yeah,
Correct.
that's fair.
So I think the subs are so this is the earliest he's made subs, which I thought, okay, cool, he's making them at a good time. There's about 20 left. Go on.
Yeah,
You're
you have
still
to go
1-0,
for it at that point. Yeah.
right? You're still 1-0, and then Thomas Partey falls asleep. That's also a great finish from Hakimi. Like that's not like an easy
Clinical.
finish
All
usually. Like,
PSG was clinical this whole
Curled it.
they're
Yeah.
fucking hitting the
leg.
ball, and everything's on target, like on the post. Raya's making a good save, or they're fucking putting it in the back of the net. Like there's
Yeah, they were
nothing else. They're just
clinical.
super clinical, and that's a right back, dude. That's
Yeah.
a right back doing that.
Why was he even on the left side of the field, right? The fuck?
He was making some crazy sprints, dead sprints, just
So good.
Towards the end of the
full on
game,
attack. Yeah.
he had gas. Bro, these are the fittest guys I've seen play. He kept going, bro.
Yeah.
Kvara is another guy who's insanely fit. I couldn't believe the amount of defending he did. He played left back at one point with Nuno Mendes.
Yeah, he was helping Nuno
in or
when
something.
Saka was coming in.
I was like, what? He was the
And
first guy
that's
to get there. I was like, holy
yeah.
shit.
And that's what I remember last year, that like viral video that went out when Luis Enrique was telling Mbappe that winners have to play both sides and they need to defend. That's what this team does now, right? And they've really implemented the Luis Enrique system. I think they were, like Johnny said, they were shell shocked in that first half, but it almost played to their advantage at one point, because now they sit back and now they have the speed to counter against Arsenal. And they call Arsenal on the break that one time. If it's not for Declan coming back and making that game saving tackle, it could have been easily 2-0 in the first half.
He's a monster.
Yeah,
I think he's so good, dude.
he had a really good game today.
He's so
Despite the
yeah,
loss, he had a really good game.
he's had a
Yeah,
really
playing really
good
well lately.
knockout, like the knockout phase of
Yeah.
the Champions League. He's been incredible. Like no one can tell me otherwise.
Best player for you guys?
He's been legit. I think he's been our best player. Probably been our best player all year. So, dude, I love that guy. 100%. This guy's my favorite player on the team. Him and Timber. I thought Timber was fantastic today.
Yeah, good energy.
Yeah, he was injured. He got injured last game, right?
Well, it's just fatigue. I think his muscles are just cramping up. He was like drinking one of those packets like middle of the game
Yeah.
and shit. Like
Yeah, he was good today.
the guy's tapping out. He had to tap out for Ben White at the end.
I mean, I'm just looking at the stats real quick. Like, Arsenal had 19 shots, 4 on target, while PSG had 11 shots, 6 on target. So PSG had more than 50% of their shots on target. And Arsenal were shooting at like, was that 25% on target?
Efficiency.
You know, that's what wins you a Champions League leg. You know.
Yeah, and I think after
That's what it
this
comes down to.
season, I think Arteta has one more. I think he has one more. I think his time is coming like to that point where if he can't lead us to that crosses over that line, yeah, that's the striker we need, because that's what it is. We need a striker and we need another winger.
I was gonna say you need another winger as well.
He gets us 2 guys that can put the ball in the back of the net with Saka. You have to do something. I think you have to make another deep run into Europe, into the UCL next year. Like that's like a non-negotiable. Like you're expected to make it past the quarterfinals next year.
To the
Easily.
quarterfinals.
Or to the
minimum.
quarterfinals, no less than that. There's no way. The way that the format was set this year, it's set it up for the best teams to be in the final.
Yeah.
Aside from PSG, because they had a slow start, so they had to beat every team that were above them to get to the final. But everyone else was ranked top 4.
It's top. Yeah.
Correct. So the format set it up for the best teams that were the best all campaign to play in the final, aside from PSG. So
What are your closing thoughts after the deepest Champions League run that you guys have had in a long time?
My closing thoughts. I hope you enjoyed that win at the Bernabeu. That was your moment for the next 20 years.
We're 4-0 against you. It's the moment for the next time we play against you.
And I'm really happy for you, bro.
You're gonna hate to play us every single time if we play you guys.
If we see you guys again,
And then
maybe we have to wait a long time.
And then when we beat Chelsea every year, like we have been, because you guys haven't beat us in like 10 games, then you also have to live through that as well.
Okay, bro.
But you can live vicariously through other teams.
That's your trophy.
No,
That's been
no,
your
it's not
trophy
my
for the last 10
trophy.
years. Just
We're
beating
talking
Madrid and
between
beating
us.
Chelsea.
That's just
Yeah, I know.
us.
That's your trophy.
That's all you're saying. We were talking about individual results. You're gonna have to keep waiting for individual results for both your teams. That's it. I'm gonna have to keep waiting for my trophy for sure. You get two whacks at it with 2 different teams. So
I do. I'm lucky.
you get to enjoy your Conference League trophy this year, and then maybe a La Liga trophy if
Nah, nothing
if
for
it's
Madrid.
swaying your way.
So
So
Classico this Saturday or Sunday this weekend.
Sunday morning.
my
do
closing
you-
thoughts for this, I mean,
Closing thoughts, and who do you want as your striker and winger?
closing thoughts. I think it was a good. I mean, it's a good Champions League run. I mean, it's not a. It's a failure because you don't win it, right? If you're thinking in that way, but it's not. It's a really good Champions League run. I thought we were dominant.
They
throughout the league.
they overperformed. They overperformed expectations in the Champions
But
League.
whatever anyone is, because people expect us to
Did
be
they
the best.
overperform though? I mean,
No,
what did they
that's the
make
thing.
last
It
year?
depends
Wasn't it quarterfinals last year as well?
They lost in the round of 16. No, yeah, lost the quarterfinals to
Quarters.
Bayern. But like, it depends whose expectation you're talking about. Like, I'm gonna have the random Indio that supports Barcelona, who's gonna be like, the expectations are to win it, right? Like, and then think you're a total failure. I'm thinking our goal was to make a good run in the Champions League. Did I think
For
we were gonna
sure.
make it this far? No. Let's be real. This is our second year in the Champions League since what? I don't know. 8 somewhat years, I mean, maybe. So us making this deep run and being dominant is, I think, it's fantastic. Being dominant in the group phase, being dominant in the knockout phase, defensively and offensively.
Injuries, killing you guys. Your
Injuries
Achilles
kill
heel.
us. I mean, I hate that excuse,
Yeah,
but it does make a difference, you know? It
of
makes a
course.
difference when you don't have guys available and guys healthy and you don't have anyone and no depth
The
and
lack
no
of depth.
accountability, no guys that can step up. So it sucks. In regards to the league, I mean, it's just not good enough.
The league, I think, is probably the hardest or the black eye of your season is how the league went, I think.
Yeah, you underperformed in the Prem, and then in Champions League you overperformed. So kind of like levels out your season a little
It
bit.
levels out. We don't win anything, just kind of in a void, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're
you
stagnant.
you're stagnant because you do so. I think you do so well with the situations you're in or the circumstances that we were put in. I think they dealt with it really well in games in the Prem. But when you draw so many games, like when you give up that many points, you kind of like hitting yourself in the head, like holy shit, we worked so hard to gain leads and to hold off leads for such a long period of games, and we just give them up. Whether it's red cards, whether it's guys getting sent off, guys being hurt, guys being suspended. It is what it is. There's no excuse for it. Even though you could make the argument if you want to be that guy to make those arguments where maybe in the first couple games of the season we're getting guys sent off for things that no longer happen towards the end of the season. But am I gonna be backbone with it? No, not really. But it happens, right? It's
You're
just
just
kind
gonna
of
bring it up.
you have to bring it up because it's worth the conversation, right? Because you see things that happen in the beginning of the season to teams or to certain teams that never happened again to other teams that were successful, right? So, I mean, it's so
Yeah,
underwhelming,
I
bro.
I was telling Johnny in another chat that all Arteta needs to save his time is win a trophy, any trophy, Carabao, FA Cup,
Well, he
league,
needs to win a bigger
one has to be one.
trophy.
I feel like he doesn't give a shit about the little ones, though.
He's
Or I feel like
won.
he
He's
really
won
doesn't
a
He
care
should
small
about
win.
one.
those.
Didn't he
No, he hasn't
win a
won
small
anything.
one already?
He won the FA Cup.
Yeah, he won. Yes, I'm saying
With
when he
Arsenal?
first when he
Yeah,
first
he
came
won his
on.
first. I
Yeah,
think it was his first year, second year.
I
yeah. It
forgot
was
about
the
that. But I think that saves him like time. It gives him a little bit more time if he wins something next year.
But I'm not content with that either, though. Like he can win me an FA Cup trophy, but I'm not gonna go on Instagram Live and be like, "You saved our season. We have a better season than Liverpool or City because we won an FA Cup." I think I'm not there. Like there in terms of the team we've had, the run and the team we've had, and the guys we're bringing in, and the interest and the ball we're playing, and how teams approach our style of play. The FA Cup and the Carabao Cup don't do it for me personally. You need to go for the big Kahuna, the Prem,
I mean,
the
that's four straight seasons, second place.
I
four.
also think Liverpool is going to be vulnerable next year. Nunez is going to be gone. They're talking about Diaz leaving. They obviously re-signed, what was it, Salah and Van Dijk. So maybe that like spine and core might be still there, but I think they're going to miss some key pieces that, again, Liverpool is really good at replacing pieces usually, right? They do really well in recruiting, and they're going to get some big money for some of these players, but I think they're going to be vulnerable next year. So
I
it's
mean,
how do you approach it if you make the right off-season moves? I think Arsenal should be right there.
the thing is, like, people forget that Liverpool spent the majority of time, the most time out of every team last year, in first, on top of the league. They did. They returned every single player from last year to this year. They just replaced the coach. Now, I think that's unfortunate for Klopp
For sure.
because
Yeah.
he didn't get to enjoy the fruit
It's
of the
his team.
labor. It's his team. I mean, no, I'm not gonna say Slot was XYZ, but this team was built off and all he did, and then you get individual brilliance from certain players and you get that, right? It's a perfect time. Other teams aren't playing well. Other teams have injuries and you capitalized. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I wish half these teams were hurt when Arsenal was making a deep run and no Rodri, no De Bruyne, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Liverpool don't have Salah. It just, I mean, when the cards fall your way, they fall your way, dude. I mean, fucking, the sport sucks, bro. I swear to God.
Yeah, God's not the biggest Arsenal fan.
No, he's not. He hate. I think there's no luck. Like, I would want him to sprinkle just a little bit of luck and give me something, like a little bit of, bro, nothing. And
Arsenal play well, no luck.
no luck. I saw a tweet, it's like, we're the easiest club to hate watch because we set ourselves up for like opportunities to like win games and we can't, and then fucking smack us in the face. Yeah, I mean, fuck, man, it's just tough. Like, Cat texts me, he's like, how you feeling? I'm like, fucking devastated. Like, I'm just gloomy. And I'm like, just like,
We're here to support your vents, Johnny. Carlos, go switch your Inter jersey.
Was a successful hate watch.
Paris go through for the Champions League final on the tie against Arsenal. They head to Munich. It's their second final in I think 5 years. The last time they made the final was against Bayern Munich, actually during the COVID Champions League era where no fans were in the stadium. So Paris get to enjoy this one with their fans at home to celebrate their run to the final, and then they'll be in Munich facing Inter Milan, who had one of the most historic semifinal ties against Barcelona. What was the final aggregate?
7-6.
7-6.
7-6.
Yes.
7-6 on aggregate. Inter defeat Barcelona. It was the tie of the most hard-headed coaches with their specific systems. Yeah, I mean the San Siro was rocking. We thought Barca was going to go through with the late goal by Rafinha, and then Inter Milan ties it late, goes to overtime, and then gets that Fratesi goal in the overtime to send them through to the final. Inter Milan against Paris in Munich for the Champions League final. When is it? May 30th? May 31st? May 31st. I mean, it was a semifinal to remember. What are your, I guess, like first thoughts? And I know you guys are both hate watching Barcelona, so it was a good hate
I
watch for
was
you
not
guys.
hate watching Barcelona. He was hate watching more. I made an educational, tactical assessment and then went with that for my choice of winner.
Okay, I agree with
That's
that.
what I did. That's what I did because I do like the players that
I did the
Barcelona has.
exact same thing.
No, you did not.
I did exactly what Johnny did. There's no difference between what Johnny did and what I did. The exact same.
I mean,
I
like
mean, Jan Sommer. Jan Sommer is my fucking
yeah, and you've been
hero
saying
of
it for
the
weeks. You've been saying it for weeks.
since I think last week, bro. He was the best player, the best performance from a goalie I've ever seen.
Man of the match. Was
It
he
was
35 years old?
Let me check how old is he. He's been doing it for a long time, and he was unbelievable.
I saw an Instagram post, right? The last time Inter Milan was in the final was 2 years ago when they lost to Man City. Their goalkeeper, Andre Onana, who got sold for millions to United, they buy Jan Sommer for like 5 million euros and had one of the best Champions League ties ever for a goalkeeper.
36.
36.
Dude, that's fucking good business there, brother.
Great business.
Great fucking business.
United fans are talking about bring Jan Sommer.
I hate.
He's gonna shit the bed with United too. It's gonna be hilarious.
Man.
But he was magnificent, man. That last save on Lamine, when bro, I don't know, the strongest two fingers I've ever seen in my life. It was just an insane save.
I mean, the one on Eric Garcia on the counter. Eric hits it. He hits it middle, but it's a great save.
He hits it poorly, but still insane.
Jan Sommer he slipped as the ball was getting to Eric, and it's like on his knees, and somehow it just jumps from his knees to make that save. I couldn't believe what I was watching yesterday.
It was an insane game. I mean, the goals that were scored, right? Some fantastic goals, some great individual play. I think Lamine Yamal really, again, had such a great semifinal tie in both games.
He's a superstar now.
Inter Milan, I think, were very shell-shocked in that first game of how good he was. And then second game, they paid a little bit more attention. I think DeMarco had a better game the second game than in the first game. And then Yamal still had his chances, and Jan Sommer comes up massive. And then Yamal hits the post, too, in that overtime. I mean, damn.
That guy's nuts, man.
Saw a tweet said, like, oh, we play the most beautiful football.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
That's questionable.
What's the most beautiful football? I want to know what that means to people. The most beautiful football.
I mean, I'm a Barca fan, right? So like you love the connection, you love the through balls, you love Lamine Yamal's individual play, the goals that they scored.
Entertainment aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, Inter Milan was the best defensive team in the Champions League, and they got put 6 on them across 2 games. So, I mean, Barca, I think we all knew Barca had one of the best attacks in Europe, along with PSG, and I think they proved it in this tie. But like we said, their defense was suspect. John highlighted that this whole season, and I think it really bit them in the ass to not adjust. Inter just capitalized the two front men. Dumfries was humongous. Besides Jan Sommer, I think Dumfries had the best tie for Inter Milan.
I tell.
And then
I didn't realize how good Bastoni is.
Yeah.
Until bro, he was
Top
insane.
3 center backs in the world.
I didn't know he was that good.
Top
Just how
3.
he his ball retention, just like how the
Just
ball on
smart.
his foot.
He
So
made
good.
some crunching tackles that if he mistimes it by a second, it's a penalty or
His
it's a red
his
card.
awareness is like super spot on too. Like he's just there, can make great tackles. Ball retention's insane. Fantastic in the air. He's very, very good. I mean, Italians love staying in Italy, so I don't see him going anywhere. But he would be a big signing for like a big team.
One of the things that I was pointing to you guys out in the group chat was how in those 2 goals that Barca conceded, the 3rd and 4th goal, ball gets played over the top. I think it's on a goal kick, and in both times, Barca lose the flick. Inter Milan recovers that second ball, and boom, 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 leads to the goal. And it almost reminds me of like I don't know when we played growing up, right? It's like if you have a small guy in the center of the midfield, like a Pedri, like a Frankie De Jong, you get your center back, who's the tallest guy on the field, to come up in the middle, and then you get the center back to come in support. And Barca doesn't do that. It's like almost simple tactics that Barca doesn't do, and that really leads to those 2 goals if you really watch those last 2 sequences. Or I thought,
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think yeah,
I don't remember the play exactly, but because Barca's playing such a there's probably a gap between the midfield and the defenders on those long kicks, no? So
no, no, no,
when
no,
no?
they're high enough to be tight enough.
yeah, they're tight. They're tight. It's
It's the
just
ball that just gets like
It's
with
just the
that,
second ball,
like with
Barca
being
just
so
not winning.
tight, it's
yeah,
like
they
one
don't
flick
win
can
the
beat
first
you.
ball and they don't win the second ball.
Correct.
Got it.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting watch because I'm just thinking like you're up 3-2 with like maybe 3 minutes left.
2, 3 minutes tops.
Park the bus.
Why can't you just sit back?
Yeah.
Why?
And why can't you put the tallest guy on your team to win the goal kick? Because that's all he needs to do. He wins the goal kick, it goes wherever, but you don't lose that first ball.
Correct. Like why? Those are simple adjustments, and I think
Simple
that
adjustments.
can be arrogance, maybe some arrogance,
Stubborn.
some just being stubborn to like what you like and what you think is successful.
Yeah, I mean, I think Hansi Flick has done an amazing job to turn this team
The great coach.
or to take this team from what Xavi had, adjust the system, play. You know, he skyrockets Rafinha's career this year on Barca. Lamine Yamal, I think, takes another level this year. Pedri, nasty, right? He gives the young his rightful place in the center of the park. So he's done a really great job of bettering this team from when they were with Xavi, even though with Xavi they won the La Liga as well. But still, I think this was the Achilles heel. You live and die by that high line, but it just wasn't good enough. You can't doesn't matter if you play pretty football, you can't expect to go to a final, and I think Nico Cantor said this as well. You can't expect to go to a Champions League final conceding 7 goals.
Yeah, and I think Johnny said it like, cool, Barca's gonna win the league playing this way, but in a Champions League game, all you need is 90 minutes. That defense is gonna you can't play that way in a 90-minute game in Champions League. You're gonna get exposed, and that's what happened.
Yeah, and we talked about Barca's, like, youthfulness, right? Like, very young team still, inexperienced. Inter Milan just made the final 2 years ago. That showed. It showed that, like, never say never, never giving up. I thought it was also really interesting too, Inzaghi made a lot of big-time subs. Like, he takes out Lautaro Martinez. He takes out
DeMarco.
DiMarco. He takes out I think
Mkhitaryan,
he took out his whole, like
Dumfries, yeah.
he
He
used
made
all
6
his
subs.
subs. He used all his subs in crucial moments of the game, and those subs are the ones that make the difference. Fratesi
Yeah,
scored
pretty
the
early
goal.
too. Like he took DeMarco out like 56 minutes in.
Yeah, what is his name? Acerbi, who scored the tying goal. Fratesi scored the game-winning goal. So really trusting his depth, really trusting his team, really trusting the experience that they have. Because
So Flick got outcoached.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Better changes, better system setup, right? Because people want to say that Barcelona lost that game. Like Inter didn't
They were
win
down
it.
2-0. Inter
Barcelona
almost lost that
lost
game.
that game. No, you were always coming back from the game. You were down 2-0. You were down 2-0 again. You didn't lose that game.
Jan Sommer though. So if we maybe eliminate Jan Sommer, maybe it's a different story.
I mean, that's the thing. We can talk
That's
about
soccer.
that
That's soccer,
always. I
though.
mean, it's part of the
Goalie
game,
did his
part of
job.
football. Donnarumma doesn't make those 4-3 saves, and Arsenal in the fucking final, bro. Like fucking, like, I'm over here fucking over the moon, you know. I mean, but we gotta. The truth is the truth. And yeah, I think Hansi Flick got outcoached. I think Inzaghi did his thing. I think he, like you say, he trusted his subs. His subs
Really
were
did.
impactful.
I was surprised, to be honest, to
And
see so
but I
many
also
subs.
think the system he plays is just more of a reliable kind of.
It's a better system to win tournaments.
It's a well-rounded. It's
You
just
know how
well-rounded, right?
Italians, man, they find ways to win tournaments. They're a good tournament team, and this is what Inter Milan is as well.
Yeah.
They also win the league, I guess. So it's hard to say they're just a tournament team if they're
Fair.
winning their league.
Yeah. If they're yeah, it's a good point.
But yeah, I
But-
mean, they were set up great. They were set up perfect.
Dude, they were on a, like you said, you brought up the youth, like Barcelona's youth, and I think it showed a little bit with like certain tackles in certain moments of the game. I think
Lautaro
Kubarsi,
PK, right?
Yeah, I think that's dude, I'm a big fan of Kobayashi. I think he's really good. That's just a bad tackle.
Yeah, you can't go flying in like that.
It's a bad tackle. I
And
think
if you look at the replay, Lautaro knows he's gonna try that. He puts his leg in front.
puts his leg in front.
He puts his body in front.
And that's just an experienced move, an experienced
Yes.
attacker
Yes.
that knows that. And do you think? I mean, it's a PK. Do you think it's not a sending off? No,
No.
no. But it's just a bad tackle. I think that's just a bad tackle.
Like he didn't have to make that tackle there. He could have just caught up and either shouldered or just kept up with him and pressured him,
Right,
right?
because
Like
it's not like
it wasn't even
Lautaro is
he's not it wasn't a
freaking
breakaway, right?
it's not like he's Dembele. I mean, it was
He was on his left foot though. It was like first post. If he's gonna put it away, he's gotta hit it really hard. Like
You
it
have to
has to be a
trust
good finish.
you have to trust your keeper at that point.
Yeah,
You get
it's good.
to run, you get to as close as you can. You maybe try to, like, nudge him so he mishits it, but you gotta trust your keeper at that point.
Yeah, I don't think you go in flying there like that.
Yeah.
I think that's an experienced tackle, and I think on the what's it, the tying goal, the third goal, I think the guy Martin, the left back, I
Who
think he
had 2
goes down.
assists.
Yeah, he did have
Yeah,
to assist.
two delivered two great balls.
Great balls. Yeah, I think the Olmo one was fantastic, and which the other one?
It was,
Eric
Olmo and
Garcia.
Eric on the first
Yeah,
goal.
both. Yeah, but I think on the third goal, I think he goes down too easy. I think he feels contact and he kind of just
Mhm.
goes.
Yeah, I didn't understand what people were complaining about with Inter's third goal, right?
That's the
They're,
one. So
they're saying he got fouled.
he takes a really bad touch. He takes a bad touch. So one, you set yourself up for disaster because then when you take your first touch and it's far from you, you're already leading in.
Yeah.
And so is Dumfries. So it looks like there's like a collision of
And
boots.
mentally, he's exhausted.
Right? Yeah, correct. So there's like a collision of boots, and if you slow it really down to the exact play and you freeze it, you see Dumfries' foot on top of his foot. But if you play it in real time, it makes connection and it's kind of like a soft one.
See it.
It's a soft one, right? And if he doesn't take a bad touch, or if he's stronger in those moments, kind of just like let me defend, I don't think that's a goal either.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think like, relying on the ref to bail you out, but
Little mistakes. If you don't
like
win,
you
you
said,
don't win the first ball.
the
Bad touch.
fatigue, right? Maybe mental farts where it's like you take a bad touch because you're tired.
Who gets beat on that ball? Guys should have never beat Araujo on that first
It looks
post.
so slow how he beat him too.
Serbi. What was Serbi doing up there? Like, why was he at the 6?
That's
Well,
That's what he
and
was
like
there to do. Just to
what
try to find
defending?
something.
What's the defending there? Like, what's like?
Not sure.
He doesn't even put his foot in. Like, he
Not
doesn't put his
sure.
foot in. He doesn't really like seem to challenge it. Like, seem to be like eager
was
to
late.
like.
He was just
win
late.
it.
Yeah.
Right. He just kind of just passing it through. Right. And then on the
I swear, Barca fans were calling Araujo like the best defender in the world a couple
and now
years
they want to
ago.
sell him. They're telling him to fuck off.
Yeah, it's time to get the fuck off the team.
Yeah, that's why these Barcelona fans that come from Ecuador, bro, are insane because that's all I see from.
Specifically from Ecuador.
All I see, those are the ones I see. I don't see anyone else. Those guys that wear like the jean shorts and shit. They're ripped and they go right after the work to the bar and watch these fucking games. They sell a couple houses on the way there and then fucking want to say outrageous shit like that. They were he's the best center back in the world last year. This year get him off the fucking team. He's
I
fucking
mean,
awful.
he's been down with injuries, right?
Yeah, I
So
know, but that's the thing. Like, that's how the fans are. I think we're the worst people in the world.
course.
Fans are the worst, bro. They're one day they love you, and the other day they want to fucking
on your head.
crucify you, dude. I hate it because like you have to like understand both sides a little bit. I get your emotion and you love the game and you're such a fan and you know you'll do whatever, but think about it like in both aspects. Like just do a little bit of thinking, right? Just think a little bit and then kind of give it back, you know. And then on the fourth goal, they want to blame him for that too. And I mean, I don't really know how you blame him for that one. Maybe he doesn't get stuck in
No.
hard enough.
It was
But
a good
Who's the
play.
one that
It was a
who's
good
the one
play.
that fell in front of Fertesi? He tried to block the
He
tackle,
he
kind
hit
of
him.
fell.
He hit him with the
I don't know, but I
jab
know
step.
Hezzy.
Yeah, he hit him with
Turan
the
was
jab
holding
step.
off Araujo.
It was the right back. It was the guy that came on. I forget his name. The guy from La Masia. The right.
Victor?
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
Hector
Was it?
Fort?
It was Fort. I think it was Fort.
Yeah,
It
he
was either
got
Fort or Pau Victor. It was one of those two.
he got I think dropped with the little Hezzy, which created that little space for
all
Fertesi,
I
and
needed.
then
That's all he needed.
yeah, if anything, it was maybe more his fault than Araujo.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
And it
But
was,
yeah,
and it was the person who didn't win the first ball, the first header. I'm gonna just keep harping on that because that mistake is elementary. But everyone says one of the best semifinal ties
it has to be the best.
in recent history. What do you guys think? Top 3?
I can't really think of a better
Semifinal. There's been other really good Champions
like the World Cup
ties.
final. I
No,
mean,
no,
World
just
Cup.
like Champions
Oh,
League ties, like
Champions League.
quarterfinal, round of 16.
Probably.
There's been some messy
I
ones, like
mean,
the Dortmund one. I forget, it was like Dortmund Sociedad or something like that. That was like insane.
also the Liverpool comeback on Barca or the PSG Barca
Right.
comeback. But I don't know, bro. This game was insane. I take this one over all those.
And
Just because it's both sided, right?
the
Because it's two
quality
sided.
was great.
Quality was both teams were going at it toe for toe. And there's drama, there was overtime. There's not much more you can ask for in a game of soccer. So
I'm watching the game with Daniela, and obviously, like, we just saw the Knicks come back against the Celtics the day before, and I'm like, you're seeing some of the best moments in sports right before your
history.
eyes, and you just like
Yeah.
you just don't
That,
get it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yep, not a care in the world about what's happening in front of her eyes.
I mean, she's paying attention, but it's like a seven. Well, what was it? 7-6 Champions League tie. It's like you don't see that every day.
Yeah, it's
You don't
legit.
see a 20+ point comeback in a playoff game. I don't know if you guys saw the Pacers comeback last night. It was
Yesterday. Yeah.
ridiculous, right? There's just, I mean, that's sports. That's sports for you, right? You see
It's
some
what we
things,
love.
you see some things, and you're like, this doesn't happen that often. It's history right before your eyes, and that's why we love it so much.
I mean, just unbelievable. 2 semifinals. Successful hate watch for a lot of people around the world. Imagine an Arsenal Barca final. I'd have to kill myself.
I'd never,
Plus a Man United and Tottenham Europa. Bro,
bro.
people would have killed themselves.
Would have been
I've
brutal.
never witnessed this
Brutal.
much hate before. I've never
That's what
felt
happens when you're
this.
good, though.
I've never hated. I've never felt this much hate before in my life,
How many text messages did you get after the
bro.
game today?
Insane, bro. People are tweeting
wait.
at me.
It's what happens with
Shit.
one, you're good, and two, now you have a platform. So now people are really
Get
hate
into it,
watching
right?
the platform.
People I'm getting tweets. People are going into their Twitter and adding me and fucking talking to me.
And
I have people on WhatsApp hitting me up. I fucking people texting me. My phone has been buzzing for over an hour right now, bro. I'm not answering nobody.
yeah, and if you're hate watching Johnny at the moment, or if you have hate watched Johnny for the last few weeks in Champions League, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And
Keep it up, too.
and continue the hate watch, because
Please,
we need it for the
you only
numbers.
guys are gonna get us out the gutter.
We need it for the algo. So please like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. We really appreciate it.
It was a successful hate watch for people around the world, man.
I've
Couldn't have
never
been any better.
I've never
Couldn't have
hate
been any
watched
better.
that much ever. I think I don't even.
I've been hate watching crazy for the last month, bro. I hate watched every Newcastle game. I hate watched every
Barca,
Naughty Forest game, every
Arsenal.
Barca game, every Arsenal game. I've just been hating. I've never hated so much. And
Well, that's
this
because
is the
Chelsea
most I've hated.
underperformed this season.
And yeah, I mean they underperformed last year too, but this year I've just been hating. It's been bad.
And Real Madrid didn't have the best season as well. So
Yeah. Hey man. It was a fun 2 games for me.
we will see you guys after the Champions League final. Paris, Inter Milan in Munich for the Champions League final.
Wait, who are we rooting for in the final? I'm happy with either team at the moment. Maybe I don't know.
I don't
It's
know.
tough.
I like Luis Enrique. I like the PSG team. Pacho's on the team.
I'm gonna go with PSG just
I might
because
have
of
to-
that. I think
I might have to
'Cause of
lean
Pacho?
on PSG.
Pacho. I just think Luis Enrique and he's able. I mean, they were both able to get these teams and be
And
the
Luis
best that they
Enrique's
could
story
be with
too,
their
no?
teams. But Luis Enrique said, "Fuck these superstars, sell them off to the lot. Let me build this team with my guys." And he's created his own identity with his guys.
Yeah.
And they responded to him. They
love him,
worked
too.
under him, and that's what a coach like. That's a manager. That's a coach. You know, and the board backed him in January. They signed Kvara, and
I forgot about that.
he's been the best signing. He's
Yeah.
been the best signing that window, and he's been such a key for their
Key
success
signing.
in the Champions League. He was a Champions League signing.
Yeah, I
He was
totally
like, we
agree.
can't win this unless we get this guy, and boom, they're gonna win it because of that fucking guy, and he'll score in the final.
And it's a move that all Arsenal fans were praying to make during the winter transfer window.
He probably wins. He probably gets us the Champions League in the final.
If Kvara goes to Arsenal,
I think so. He plays instead of Martinelli, and
I
that's the
mean,
guy who can score goals
he enhances your chances for sure.
big time. And he fits in kind of to that identity where his work rate behind the ball fits in with us, and then he can go forward. But it's
I
just
mean, lesson learned, right? That winter moves can still
you have to
help
make
you
signing,
win
and
you.
that's the
to
best.
win Champions League. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm leaning more towards PSG, but both teams have incredible stories, right? PSG hasn't
Like
won.
no one's hating on whoever wins
Don't think so.
this final.
PSG hasn't never won a Champions League. The Luis Enrique story, with his daughter and just how he turned his team around, like Johnny mentioned, and then Inter Milan, their redemption arc after losing the Champions League final in Istanbul 2 years ago to Man City. So
I do have an Inter jersey.
I have a PSG jersey, so
I have a PSG hat. Paris hat that I fucking threw away, and I don't fucking want to look at it for the next couple fucking days. And I have a PSG top that
What's
might
the what's the festival called in that we're doing? It's not Veritage Fest, right?
Yes, it is. It's not. It's called I think something 90 Fest.
What is it? Full 90?
Hold on, I got you right now. Well, yeah, this is the full 90 Fest.
Speaking of the Champions League final, we will be at the full 90 Fest at the Veritage Brewery in Bloomfield, New Jersey. There will be a big screen for the Champions League final match. We will be selling our card game captain. There'll be booze, beer. The beer is fantastic, music, and some great local food. So please come out and support. You'll see Carlos there with hopefully that same Inter jersey.
I gotta say who I'm gonna support. I don't know. I'm a
12
fan
to
of both.
7 p.m.
12 to 7 p.m.
It's an early start. It's a beautiful day
Should be. Let's hope.
to start day drinking.
Yeah, let's hope it's a sunny day. The vibes are going, the food's going, and a great soccer game. That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah,
So,
totally agree.
come support, come see me.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Totally
go
agree.
work out now and fucking feel this workout with despair and sorrow.
We'll talk next week, fellas. All right. Take it easy.
All right, boys.